Hey guys, I'm back again. Oh, I'm thinking I should have grabbed a glass of water. Hopefully, I'll make it through this whole thing. Okay, so as I said, good morning, Glenda. As I said in my video earlier about the so much love, no, so much happy card making workshop, my time seemed to have been derailed in the last few days. So, I'm not sure if you remember, but this was the product of the week that we picked last week. I let you guys vote, and so you picked the Love at First Sight Workshop Your Way, the card making one. And I typically do 3 videos for product of the week. So I still had one plan that I didn't get done last week. So we're going to make this card today. So the first video was we made the cards exactly as they are in the Workshop Your Way, and they're beautiful. And then from there, we made these money envelopes. They were super fun. So that was next. So then today we are going to make, I thought this was kind of cool. I'm going to make this, sorry, when I go super fast, the webcam wants to autofocus. So we're going to make a gatefold card with the same stamp set. And this is also the paper that is from that kit. So here we go. Hopefully I wrote everything down correctly. So super easy, but I thought it could be just a little bit of a nicer card, a little bit different card using the stamp set. So I have my stamp set, I have an envelope, and okay, so I cut this piece of charcoal paper, and I'm going to just put my measurements right here. They're on my little post-it if you need to refer to them, but I'm going to double check them because the last couple of days I've made so many mistakes. We need to worry about the details. Okay, so it is 8.5 by 5.5, and I have scored it at 2 1/8 from each end. So I haven't actually folded it yet. I just quickly scored it before I came on because you guys don't really need to watch me score a card. So it's 2 1/8 from the outer edge on both sides. So the trick that I'm going to use with the gatefold card is, so I'm folding it over at the 2 1/8, and I'm just making sure that my two ends line up. I'm just going to crease it with my bone folder. And then, because you want it to be open properly, I'm going to, even though this is folded at what should be 2 1/8, I'm going to take it and line it up right next to that other seam and push out my fold from there like that. So now it's even. Because no matter what, when you are scoring something, it's not going to necessarily be exact. Okay, so now I'm going to decorate the inside, and I've used the stitch rectangular frames to create this gatefold. So for the inside, I just have a piece of white daisy, and it's cut from the largest thin cut, and I am going to adhere it down. So if anybody hasn't seen, this was a tape runner that we had that it's like a dot adhesive. So there's little tiny dots. It went away for a while and it has come back. So that is a new other option. So we actually have like 3 tape runner like adhesives right now. There is the Tombow adhesive, and then there's the duck adhesive, and then this new one, this new back at it tape runner that has written on it close to my heart. Okay, so now I have a piece of the ballerina from the card kit leftovers. And I've just stamped the banner and happily. And I'm just going to quickly fussy cut it out. Yes. So I did try and do some of this before to minimize my mistakes and how long it's going to take. So like I said, the So Much Happy, I think I have cards I think I have everything all fixed up again. So maybe we will make a few of those later in the week. We'll just see. Oh my goodness. You know where you just have those days. I'm hoping that this is the last one. And now we're moving on. I recreated my to-do list this morning so that hopefully I'm not missing out all the details. And worked a little bit on my calendar. So we will see if that helps. Okay, so I wanted to put that here. And I'm going to stamp the Happily Ever After in the middle there. So I'm just going to add this to my card. I'm just going to blame it on the fact that winter doesn't seem to be going anywhere, and so it's affecting my brain. Maybe it's still frozen. And I'm just grabbing my little Fiskars mat, and I'm going to stamp the Ever After. And I'm just going to use my black ink because that's what I have here. And I'm just using the Intense Black. I actually use the Intense Black pretty much for everything now. I really like it. I know some people prefer the archival. Some people just prefer the plain black. Sorry, that was my head in there. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to give this a second to dry. And, oh, maybe I'll stamp my front. Okay, so I have cut out a stitched heart for the front. And I think we will add the Wishing You and then Happily Ever After will be on the inside. Yes, I'm thinking it's might be not going to get better because this weekend is daylight savings time, and that always seems to not make anything much better for me. So I'll just blame it on the fact that my son turned 18 this weekend, and I'm super overtired from all those escapades. So yes, because here, when you turn 18, that is, you are legal. So that's just a whole nother level of interesting fun the boys can get into. Okay, so there we go. I've stamped the Wishing You, and then when you open it up, it'll say Happily Ever After. Okay, so here's my card, and these two pieces of paper that are going to be on my front are, yes, I thought I should just double check that they fit. So they are 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. and they fit into the front panels. And you could use either side. Like I said, this is just some of the leftover paper from the card making workshop. So the only thing with this paper is you need to make sure that when you're cutting it, you've got your flowers going in the right direction so they're not upside down, if that's the side you want facing out. And if you cut it wrong, then you can always just use the other side with the shapes on it that look more like the chicken wire. Okay, so there we go. We've got a pretty good base here for the card. Also feeling like my lights are crazy bright in my face today, but okay. So then I wanted something fun for the gatefold. So I've used the middle-sized stitched rectangle frame, and that's what we're going to use for this part. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. So I have just a piece here of the silver foil, and I think I'm going to use this piece of sapphire. So I want it to look, so I just kind of cut out some different ones to play around with, different combinations. Or we could do this. So when you cut out two of the frames, then you actually end up with two different combinations you could use. So, don't know which to use. I actually think I'm going to use this one because I think it's just a little bit different. Okay. So, what I did to make it easier and so everything lines up, I am going to measure and mark halfway approximately on these two pieces. So that's what I did. So this one is 3 inches. So I want lined up on this fold the 1.5. So that's right here and right here, just like that. And so here's the middle for this one right here. So I'm going to just run my tape runner on my inside panel, and so you can see I've got my frame, it's upside down, and you can see my halfway marking is here and here. So I just have that sitting where the folds meet. I'm just centering it how I want it. And now I'm going to flip this over and I can just place it inside my frame. And it should be exactly at the halfway mark. See? So now I'm just going to, because it's just on half the front, now I'm going to add my foil frame to the other side, and I'm going to add my adhesive on this half, and there it is. I'm going to do that with liquid glue. So it's I'm going to do that because it's super strong and dries quickly. So, just have a little air bubble there at the bottom. So I'm just going to add like a thin line of glue because I don't want it to squish out. So always put your lid back on your liquid glue so you don't get air bubbles or to dry up in the end. There we go. So isn't that so pretty? And as soon as it's dry, then you see it will open like this. Hey, Margaret. You could also always add ribbon if you wanted it even more decorative than that. I'm just going to move this out of the way because I think I'm getting a reflection off of that. Okay, so then I'm just going to add some embellishing thread, which everybody knows I absolutely love. I'm wondering, hey, wouldn't it be awesome if we got more color, maybe like a gold in the fall for Christmas? I think that would be very pretty. A gold to go with the silver. So when it sits on here, it gets quite kinked. And thanks, Sue. It gets marked up. And so one of the easiest ways that I find to unbend it necessarily is if you just run it through your fingers, that's enough heat to actually take the kinks out of it. And then I'm just making like a little nest here. So I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers. And actually, the more messier it is, the better, I think, because you just kind of want just like a little messy bundle. So literally, I just rolled it around in my fingers and I'll just tie it up. Yes, like I would love to see some gold for Christmas. That would look so pretty on Christmas projects. And then I just play with it until I get it kind of the way I want. And there we go. At least make sure that it is not going to come undone. So I'm just going to tuck that underneath. I'm just going to trim off my edges. And I am going to use a glue dot to attach it. This is way more glue dot than I need, but that's okay. It was the glue dots that were the closest. So, and I'm just tucking it underneath my embellishment, so my heart, so it'll stick out. Like that. Okay, and then, because we all know I love dimension, I'm going to put some thin foam tape on here. Yes, I thought I would get back last week to finish this up, but it was my crop on the weekend and my son's birthday, so I didn't. So here I am. I figured, I finally have a few minutes in between projects before I start something new. So let's finish this up. There we go. Oh, I think I might put, so then it just opens like that. So it says, wishing you a happily ever after. I think I'm going to put silver gems on this one to go with the silver foil frame that I have on this one. So let's see here. Gold, silver. So I'm just going to add a few. So I have a funny program that I run my lives through, and it got an update today, of course, right before I went to go live. So I had to figure out a new update. You gotta love that. Always technology, I don't know, as great as it is, sometimes it works against me. But here we are, second video of the day. So all good. Okay. Oh, I think that's super pretty. So here's the original version that I made before, just to try and test it out. So the background, I actually used, I think, Pebble, and then I've stamped it on a scrap piece from the Feels Like Home paper pack. And so there's that one. And then this is charcoal. Oh, I wonder if I used, oh no, it's not. And then the ballerina, which is, this is in the workshop. And then today I made it the same, except for my background is charcoal cardstock, not the black. And the insert is white with the happily ever after and the ballerina, a ballerina heart, and the sapphire cardstock, and then the silver foil paper. So I think those turned out super pretty. They're both very nice. And you could do it totally so that if you wanted to do it for a wedding, you could do it like in the bride's colors to match, or any of those things. Or if you were going to make it for like a shower card, again, you could do it in the bride's colors or whatever her theme is for her wedding. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.